Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Azteca takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out!
Hello and a very good morning to our listeners in the UK. Well done for getting up or staying up. And the match has been delayed by an hour, as I'm sure many of our many of our England supporters will know, because of the thunderstorm. But also good evening, good morning, and good evening to everyone else across the world. My name is Nicholas Jones, and I will be providing the commentary for a crucial match in the round of 16 between Mexico and England. So the players are just about to come out on top, and England are likely to be at a disadvantage. The match played at 2,200 meters or 3,050 feet above sea level, and this would be and Thomas Tuchel has noticed this as a severe physical disadvantage. But as well as the altitude disadvantage, England have a historical disadvantage at the Estadio Azteca. They've had 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses at the stadium. And the most notable one was the quarter-final match against Argentina in the World Cup in 1986, when Diego Maradona's controversial hand of God sent the eventual champions through to the semi-finals. Peter Shilton maintains to this day, the goalkeeper from that day, that England were hard done by. We'll have a look at win probabilities and statistical breakdowns in a moment or two. But now let's take a look at the starting 11s for both Mexico and England. So in goal for Mexico is Raul Rangel, within defence, Jesus Gallardo, Johan Vasquez, Cesar Montes, and Jorge Sanchez, Luis Romo, Eric Lira, and Gilberto Moreira are in midfield, and the front 3 are Julian Quinones, Raul Jimenez, and Roberto Alvarado. And Mexico's head coach is Javier Aguirre, and this is his 3rd spell in charge. This is his 3rd time in charge. And so we'll now take a look at England's lineup, please. There we go. With Jordan Pickford in goal. This will be his 17th cap for England, equaling Peter Shilton's record of the most times a goalkeeper has made an appearance for England. Then in defence we have Nico O'Reilly, Mark Gay, Ezri Konsa, and Jarrell Quansah. The 4 midfielders, or we'll check proper formations in a little while, are Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, and Anthony Gordon. Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka are up front, and they flank Harry Kane, who starts as the lone striker. And we can now now we can have a look at our match officials. Yes, here we are, and our referee is Alireza Fagani, who was born in Kashmir, Iran, but represents Australia. And his assistants from down under are George Lacrindis and Andrew Lindsay. The 4th official is Morocco's Jalal Jayed. On VAR is Nicolas Gallo of Colombia, with Juan Lara of Chile, and the support VAR is Venezuela's Juan Soto. And so now back to the win probability, and so we can have a look at our starting goalkeepers in stats comparison. Both have played 4 games and their record, and Raul Rangel has a superior record, 4-0-0, and Pickford with 3-1-0. Pickford's conceded 3 goals. Raul Rangel has conceded none, and the GAA. For Jordan Pickford, 0.75, 4 clean sheets for Raul Rangel, 2 for Pickford, and 1.000 in terms of saves, 0.667 for Pickford, and in terms of the win probabilities and statistical breakdowns, England are slight favourites, but the margin is razor thin due to the stadium environments. The win probability in normal time is, I would say, 40.6 for England, 31.5 for Mexico. England's advantage. England also have an advantage of advancing to the quarterfinals, 55.6 to Mexico's 44.4. And the draw after 90 minutes, which will go into extra time and penalties. If not, then the draw record is 27.9. Both finished tops of their groups, and the game is at the Azteca Stadium. 14 degrees over there at the minute, with air visibility around 6.4 kilometers, and with rain precipitation at 1.3 millimeters. The national anthem's being played out at the moment, with Mexico's in full swing, and in terms of injury news, Thomas Tuchel has had plenty to worry about. Reece James, who is on the substitutes bench, he picks up a hamstring strain in the group stage match against Ghana, and he missed the final training session in Mexico City. He has made the bench, but it is doubtful he will see any gameplay in this one. Jed Spence picked up a late training knock, but he makes the substitutes bench, but he lost his starting spot to Jarrell Quansah. Quansah fully recovered from an ankle problem, from an ankle injury he picked up against Panama, which forced him to miss the last match against DR Congo. And he fully trained over the weekend and will start at right back. No fresh injury concerns for Mexico, and they are in excellent physical shape. And there were minor concerns regarding Julian Quinones, but he is completely fine and anchors the left side of the attack. The players now going through the handshaking, and the captain's about to perform the official duty in front of the referee. So but both sets of players right now gathering for the traditional photographs. Don't forget we've got many games coming up for you on the Commentary Hub coming up later on tonight, 8 o'clock in the evening UK time. It's Portugal against Spain at the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, or the AT&T Stadium, whichever way you want to look at it. Join Mike Harneman and Dan Money for that one. So back to the here and now. If you just joined us, then welcome. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss any games from now on. We are hoping to get a lot of viewers, particularly those particularly where England fans are concerned. Not that I'm showing any parity towards anyone. So now let's take a look at the starting lineups for Mexico just to make sure. Mexico are in a 4-1-2-3 formation. Rangel in goal. The back three of Gallardo, Vasquez, and the back three of Gallardo, Vasquez, Montes. Then the centre midfielder, I should say, or holding midfield, is Eric Libra. Then Romo and Quinoy in mid flanking. Anyway, now for the England formation, it's a 4-2-3-1 with Pickford. Then the back four defence. Then the back four of O'Reilly, Konsa, Gay, and Quansah. The two midfielders are Rice and Anderson. The forward three, Gordon, Bellingham, and Saka. Bellingham is regularly in midfield with Harry Kane, the lone striker. So Bellingham, central attacking midfielder, and Rice, the defensive midfielder, and Anderson, the central midfielder. So the Mexican players getting into a huddle. They break away, and the player that we should look out for is Raul Jimenez for Mexico. 47 international goals. He is 5 behind the great Javier Hernandez. So the players now getting ready to make a start. So another player we should look out for is 17-year-old Gilberto Mora. And he has attracted attention. And he has attracted attention from the likes of Arsenal. It'll be England to kick us off. They're playing in their white shirts and blue shorts and white socks. Mexico wearing their green shirts, white shorts and red socks. And standing over the ball is Declan Rice. We are entering the last stage of the countdown. Kickoff approaches. The whistle blows, and we are underway at the Estadio Azteca for this crucial round of 16 match for both sides. And the ball being played straight away by England, but well held by Mexico. That was Eric Libra on the far side. The ball now being sent forward, I should say, towards Mark Gay for England. Pass to Pickford. That's a long cross. He was aiming for Jude Bellingham, but the ball was far out, and the referee having a quick chat with Javier Aguirre. Most likely the fourth official, but an early throw-in to Mexico to be taken by Gallardo, but a Mexican player is down. It's Luis Romo, the central midfielder, and already a yellow card for England. It's Declan Rice. So just over a minute in, and we have our first booking. This is not what England need so early on. A boot to the head, it looks like, very painful. This is indeed for Luis Romo. The physio is coming over to have a look. Harry Kane trying to give England's point of view across. To me, this wasn't deliberate. There was no malice in there. I'm having another look at that again, and it looked like it went straight into the side of his face there. Is the referee going to give out another yellow card? Is the referee going to give out another yellow card? We shall see. I did see him writing something. We were hoping for things to be action-packed, but not quite like this. And the good news is that Romo is back up on his feet, so that is some comfort for the Mexico central midfielder. But he is livid, and no wonder. Mexico free kick. The ball being played down the wing to Cesar Montes. So Montes down the wing to Sanchez. Sanchez to Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado to Quinones. Quinones, Raul Jimenez. And Raul Jimenez into the 18-yard box, but caught again by Alvarado. Alvarado. Pass back out to Sanchez. Now back towards Alvarado. Alvarado on the edge of the 18-yard box, being hunted by Nico O'Reilly, but he does well to pass the ball back out to Libra. Libra to Montez. Montez inside the centre circle. The ball being passed out to Eric Libra. 3 minutes in, and now being passed back down to Alvarado. Alvarado closing in on the 18-yard box, but nicked by Anderson. Anderson to O'Reilly. Or should that be Anthony Gordon? And that was Jorge Sanchez, and it was indeed on Anthony Gordon on the edge of the box. But because this was in his own box, no real harm done, and it'll be Jordan Pickford to clear the ball out of the goal. Jordan Pickford stands behind the ball, and over it goes, and he sent it towards Kane. Mexico almost had it, but it was taken by Rice. Rice towards Quansah, and now on the ball is Bukayo Saka, but he just misses the ball. It went over the line on the far side. He was about a fraction of a second too late, and that has given Mexico a throw-in. To take the throw-in again will be Gallardo. Gallardo towards Vasquez. But England retake through Mark Gay. That was poor conceding by Mexico. Now the ball's gone over on the far side again. Another throw-in to be taken by Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo to Vasquez. Vasquez passing to Raul Rangel. Rangel to Montez. Montez biding his time, it seems. Passes back to Rangel. And so it's Rangel. Rangel out towards Gilberto Mora. And Mora holding off Anderson, but cut away by Bellingham. Mexico still have the ball, though, through Alvarado. Alvarado through the halfway line. He passes to Gallardo. Now back to Alvarado. On the ball now is Lira. Lira to Montez. Now back with Alvarado. Alvarado towards Mora. But England still holding their ground. It's Bellingham almost briefly had it, but tackled, and a headbutt by Elliot Anderson. By the looks of it, and the referee trying to calm proceedings down. We're almost 6 minutes in, and we might have our second bit of controversy already, because owing to the yellow card involving Declan Rice and it was actually Harry Kane who pushed Lira down onto the ground, but Harry Kane still being spoken to by the referee, basically telling him not to give him any more lip. Anyway, it's a free kick to England. I'm not sure that was the right decision, but anyway, it's Mark Gay. But Gay pushed onto the ground by Mora. Gilberto Mora, now the offender. But Mark Gay cool and calm as you like. Jude Bellingham waving his arms angrily. And the ball being passed out to Ezri Konsa from Pickford. Konsa down the wing to Gay. Now it's with Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly has been very reliable in defence for England. Made a good impression. Well done, that young man. Pickford passing back out to Konsa. Konsa to Rice. Now back with Konsa. Konsa, Gay. Thomas Tuchel's tactic was to try and slow play down, so that England would get the tactical advantage later on in the game. if they attack, then they are likely to face exhaustion by the hour mark. But they're showing none of it so far. Bellingham over the halfway line, passes to Gordon on the near side. Gordon now closing in on the goal area, but well defended. But well defended by Jorge Sanchez. He used his body to good effect, and that has given a corner to England. And England could well take the lead with the corner. An early goal could give them a psychological advantage. It'll be Declan Rice that will take the corner for the Three Lions. His hands on his hips. He waits for the referee's signal. The ball is in the correct position. A bit of sorting out going on inside the goal area. Rice with the corner, passes quickly to Saka, and Saka towards the 18-yard box, but everybody misses except Jesus Gallardo. But the ball goes over the line. That wasn't a good corner for England, and Mexico need to take advantage of that. But the ball has been given away by Mexico to Anderson. Konsa to Gay. Mark Gay on the ball. He passes to Elias Anderson. Anderson up the wing to Saka. Bukayo Saka passing back to Rice. Rice, Konsa, Gay just outside the centre circle. Does well to keep hold of the ball. He passes back to Konsa, then Rice to Saka, and back with Declan Rice. Now Mark Gay inside the centre circle. Now over the halfway line to O'Reilly. O'Reilly passing down the wing to Gordon. Gordon does well to hold off Jorge Sanchez. Now back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Mark Gay. Gay, Anderson, and so far in terms of possession, England on top with 59, Mexico 41. No, only one total shot, and that was by Mexico. No shots on target as of yet. 10 minutes in Mexico 0, England 0. As Eric Lira almost went to the ground. Eric Lira almost went down on the ground, and it will be a throw-in. And it will be a throw-in to England to be taken by O'Reilly. O'Reilly holds the ball over his head. Times his moments. He throws to Gordon, but this may well be another corner for England. It might well have come off the leg or foot of Lira. Thomas Tuchel walking up and down his technical area, pacing himself, chewing away nervously. And many of the dignitaries sitting inside the stands, one of which is the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino. Some Mexico and England legends likely to be present as well. Mexico on the ball with Lira, Alvarado towards Mora. Mora on the far side, dodges Kane, he passes to Quinones. Cut away, intercepted by O'Reilly, and now back on the ball is Sanchez, Montez, and now Lira inside the centre circle. Lira to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez passing around to Raul Jimenez. With now back on the ball is Alvarado. Alvarado to Montez. Vasquez. Now back with Montez to Alvarado, the right winger, and now the ball being crossed towards Luis Romo, but easily saved by Jordan Pickford. Now back on the ball is Ezri Konsa. Konsa on the ball. He passes down to Mark Gay. Gay to Anderson. Anderson O'Reilly, Jude Bellingham. Back with the young Manchester City star, O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Pickford. Pickford towards Konsa. Konsa, Mark Gay. Mark Gay passing to Nico O'Reilly. England being very tactical with the ball. Back pass to Mark Gay. Now they sense an opening. The ball being crossed forward to Bukayo Saka, but that was ill-timed, and Raul Rangel easily saved that. Saw the ball and said, "I'll have that, thank you very much." And Saka, not sure he even got a stud to it, let alone his whole foot. And now the ball being played back. Now the ball being played towards the England defensive third. And that was almost a physical altercation between Gallardo and Saka. And they were around the corner flag. Saka passed the ball into his knee. If there was actual contact, it was very slight. Nobody got hurt. That's the main thing. But all the same, it's resulted in a goal kick. 14 minutes gone. Still Mexico 0, England 0. Now the ball being cleared out of the goal by Pickford. Forward pass, but intercepted by Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo to Eric Lira. Now it's with Quinones. Quinones to Cesar Montes. Montes back to Alvarado. Alvarado up the wing to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez towards Lira. Now back with Vasquez. Vasquez, Romo. Romo towards Vasquez on the far side. Vasquez crossing the ball down to Jorge Sanchez. And it's Sanchez to Alvarado. Alvarado! And it was almost headed in by Raul Jimenez. That would have been the opening goal for Mexico. But he may have been diverted by Ezri Konsa. Corner to Mexico to be taken by Alvarado. So Alvarado stands over the ball, and he raises his arm and in towards the goal area, but over the line. It might have been just sent over by Jude Bellingham. He may have used his head, but it's given Mexico another corner. They have to do better than this. Alvarado in towards the 18-yard box, headed clear by England, and the ball just caught before it went over by Eric Lira. Lira to Rangel. Rangel passes up the wing to Julian Quinones. Quinones back towards Lira. Lira with Cesar Montes. Don't forget, whoever wins this game will face Norway in the quarterfinals. More on that later. As after the ball is Jesus Gallardo, but it goes over the line, and that will likely be either a throw or a corner. We'll just have to see. It's going to be a throw in to England, judging by what I'm seeing, and it will be Jarrell Quansah that will take the throw. Quansah, remember, recently recovered from his ankle problem. So Quansah on the ball, being pursued by Quinones, and that ball is out of play. Quansah claiming he was hit by something. In fact, it was an incident involving Bukayo Saka, which I didn't quite realise. I mean, see, and Raul Jimenez. Boy, that was close. Very, very close indeed. And someone called Lorenzo Marquez says, "Sure, landscaping Maui," whatever that means. Anyway, back on the ball is Anderson. Anderson over the line. But the ball has been given back to Declan Rice. Rice to Jarrell, to Esri Konsa, beg pardon. Back up the wing to Konsa, Anderson, Rice, back with Anderson. Given away though to Quinones to Romo up the wing, back to Quinones, back Quinones. Now the ball is being played straight through. That was by Mora, but defended by England. They have to. But defended by England, they have to still keep They have to still keep being more tactical than ever, and they usually do. And they want they want to adapt to the flight of the ball and rely on direct counter attacks. Haven't seen that many directed counter attacks. So still expected goals. Mexico slightly in the box seat. England with 0-0-0. Mexico slightly in the box seat with 0-1-1. In terms of ball possession, it's 50-50 now. Mexico have had 5 total shots. England, none, with 1 shot on goal so far for Mexico. And England have only just 1 yellow card. So it's Mark Gay passing to Anthony Gordon on the near side. Gordon making his way into the 18-yard box, but cut away. Cut away by Eric Lira, and that will have given England another corner. So now let's have a look at, that was well defended by Mexico. But can England take advantage? Can England take advantage of that? So 20 and a half minutes in, still 0-0 between both sides. And sweat and water pouring down their faces. Rice with the corner, in towards England's attacking third, but defended by Cesar Montes. And we are still deadlocked at 0-0. Throw in to England, to be taken by O'Reilly. O'Reilly throws. It was about to be picked up by Sanchez, but it went over the line. Bellingham went for it, and Thomas Tuchel trying to put his points across, likely to do with the moment Bellingham almost had the ball, but play still goes on. It's Cesar Montes with the nice forward cross, but headed by Anderson, and after the ball now is Jude Bellingham, but Mexico still managed to hold on. Mora down the wing to Sanchez. Sanchez passing to Roberto Alvarado. Mora to Lira. Now back with Montes. Montes up the wing to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez to Quinones. Quinones retaken by England. The ball actually touches the referee a bit. Touches the referee's foot a bit, and he signalled for a hydration break. We get the hydration break, and and Jude Bellingham almost handled by Vasquez. But that's of little importance right now as we enter the hydration break. And a reminder that coming up later on this evening at 8 o'clock with Dan Money and Mike Harneman, it is Portugal against Spain at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Also coming up later on the commentary hub at 1 o'clock in the morning, which was supposed to be the kickoff for this game. Don't forget it was delayed by an hour. It is the USA against Belgium. I will be on commentary for that one. So while both sets of managers and players take stock and have a drink, let's go through what's coming up and what the result and what the previous results were. So the round of 16 matches so far, starting with the results from Saturday. And the first game, Canada against Morocco. It finished Canada 0, Morocco 3. Then Paraguay 0, France 1. And yesterday evening we had Brazil against Norway. Paul did a superb commentary on that one, and it finished Brazil 1, Norway 2. So Erling Haaland and Harry Kane may meet in the final, but also look out for the number 9 Mexico, Raul Jimenez. England have to use their slow down tactics a lot more, I should say, as Thomas Tuchel talks to them very, very seriously. He's being very animated. I have to say, Javier Aguirre must be relatively satisfied with what he's with his performances so far, despite almost getting a goal in early on. But the fans still enjoying themselves up in the stands. Even the top section is covered by the roof. So now we get to restart proceedings. The hydration break is over, and it will be Bellingham having a friendly conversation by the looks of it with Javier Aguirre, though one would hardly call that friendly, just a passing word. And it'll be England to restart proceedings as the ball is being passed to Konsa, and then Jordan Pickford, forward cross to Anthony Gordon. Gordon, can he keep the ball inside? Yes. He enters the 18-yard box. Surely he could score, but saved by Raul Rangel. Either Gordon's shot was too easy to save, or Rangel must have lasers for eyes. Because that was some super sharp sensory timing by Raul Rangel. Back underway again with Mark Gay, but although play has been stopped momentarily, the free kick wasn't taken too well. Mexico have had 3 attempts at goal, England 1, and each of them have had 1 attempt on target so far, the most recent being for Anthony Gordon. And Anthony Gordon, can he try again? But the ball goes over the line when he was on the near side. So throw in to Mexico to be taken by Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez with the throw, and he throws to Raul Jimenez. Jimenez concedes to Anderson briefly. England retake, now back with Mexico. Quinones almost had it briefly inside the centre circle. England managed to retake it back through Declan Rice. Rice to Konsa. Now Harry Kane, the captain. Kane still managing to keep hold of the ball. He's holding off Romo. And now the ball being passed over the line to Declan Rice. Rice, Anderson. Anderson towards Bellingham. Bellingham fouled, but the referee says play on, advantage Mexico. Alvarado down the wing to Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez to Gilberto Mora. Mora doing well. Mora does well to pass to Alvarado. Alvarado to Quiñones, but retaken by England and Bellingham. Bellingham almost fouled, but he keeps the ball. Nice tackle by Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez, Mora. Now back with Sanchez, but no. Anderson almost took the ball for England, but this may well have given Mexico a corner. The substitutes looking relatively relaxed, one might say, but it was only a goal kick to England. Mark Gay passing to Anderson. Anderson, Bellingham tripped and fouled by Jorge Sanchez. Throw into Mexico, surprisingly, and the referee now coming over to talk to Lira. I think Lira might have given him a mouthful, and he wags his finger at Lira, telling him clearly to shut up. And the Sanchez on Bellingham. I'm not sure what to say about this. For me, it's 75 yellow card, 15 just a normal incident. So the ball being thrown to Cesar Montes. Montes to Eric Lira. Now back with Montes. Montes up the wing to Vasquez. Vasquez back towards Montes. Vasquez again. Vasquez down the wing to Romo. And so it's Romo crossing the ball up the wing, but headed by Jarrell Quansah, Bukayo Saka. But Saka only sent it over the line. Throwing quickly taken by Mexico. It's Romo. Romo to Montes inside the centre circle. Vasquez to Gallardo. Now back towards Vasquez. Vasquez to Lira. Back towards Montes. 30 minutes in, still Mexico 0, England 0. Although Mexico could change that. Deflected away by Quansah. Towards Declan Rice. Mora tries to get to the ball, but it couldn't. He couldn't. It's only a throw-in. Quiñones does well to keep hold of the ball. He was almost tackled by Anderson. Montes to Romo. It's Romo down the wing to Alvarado. Alvarado has to pass back to Montes over the halfway line. It's Montes, Vasquez, back to Montes. Montes to Luis Romo. It's Romo to Alvarado. Alvarado down the wing to Sanchez. Sanchez passes back to Montes. And so it's Montes to Vasquez. Vasquez, Gilberto Mora. Mora trying to keep hold of the ball. He enters the 18-yard box, but Declan Rice says, oh, no, you don't. And retakes the ball for England. Harry Kane almost took it, but he fouls Eric Lira in the process. Play on, says the referee. And Luis Romo with the shot, but it was over the crossbar. It just arced over. Would it have clipped the post? No, it didn't. And it still remains Mexico 0, England 0. You're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones. And Mark Gay restarts proceedings for England. Bellingham to Gordon, but retaken by Lira. Lira trying to keep Anthony Gordon off him. England still have the ball though. It's Gordon. O'Reilly tries to find a teammate to pass to. Should have passed to Pickford when he had the chance. But players been stopped. A quick free kick to England. But taken by O'Reilly towards Gay. Gay Gay quickly up the wing to Esri Konsa. Konsa passing to Anderson. Anderson having to hold off Mora. Anderson passing up the wing to Konsa. Konsa down the wing. Back to Esri Konsa. Konsa keeps hold. Konsa to Mark Gay. It's Mark Gay passing back up to Konsa. So it's Konsa to Jarrell Konsa. Konsa loses the ball to Mexico, and it's now with Luis Romo. Luis Romo back towards Quiñones. Julian Quiñones. Back to Romo. Romo to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez passing to Montez. Montez, Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez to Alvarado. Thomas Tuchel urging his players on from the touchline. Alvarado up the wing to Eric Lira. Lira through the centre circle. Lira passing to Vasquez. Nice with Montez. Montez, Vasquez. Back towards forwarded to Quiñones. Quiñones down the wing to Montez. Montez to Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez, Alvarado. It's Alvarado on the ball for Mexico. Now back with Montez. Montez to Vasquez. And it's Vasquez in towards the 18-yard box. He misses Raul Jimenez. And Gordon almost took it, but it was slide tackled away by Jorge Sanchez. Nico O'Reilly cleans the ball with his shirt and gets ready to take the throw. O'Reilly raises his arm. He throws, and headed by Kane towards Bellingham. Bellingham now retaken by Mexico. Lira to Romo. Back with Lira though. Lira looking for Lira directs it. Lira trying to direct a passing. Lira trying to direct a teammate to pass it to. It's now with Quiñones. Quiñones. Luis Romo. Luis Romo briefly inside. Mexico's attacking third. Now the ball being passed back to Montez. It's Montez to Alvarado. Alvarado almost fouled, but he does well to keep on. But he does well to keep upright. Sanchez to Alvarado. Alvarado to Cesar Montez. Montez. Vasquez inside the centre circle. And Vasquez makes his way out. And that's a cross to Raul Jimenez. Saved by Jordan Pickford. Pickford passes the ball out towards Declan Rice. It's Rice now sprinting forward. He passes to Bukayo Saka. Saka just outside the 18-yard box, down towards Kane. Bellingham! And that is the score for England that they needed. A goal inside the first half, and Bellingham sends the Three Lions in front. Lovely diving header from the Real Madrid man. And Mexico's defensive breach has finally been, and Mexico's defense has finally been breached. Bellingham was completely on his own there. I'm just going to take a look at the at how it was set up. It was Declan Rice. He knew West. He passed straight up to Saka. It's like they read each other's minds. And Saka, it almost went towards Kane, but Jude Bellingham said, "I'll take this," and the diving header was all that did it. Lovely finish by Jude Bellingham, and England lead Mexico by a goal to nil with less than 8 minutes until half time. Mexico need to counter-attack and counter-attack fast. So now the ball is with Mora, but he loses it to Anthony Gordon. Gordon briefly has it. Now it's back with Bellingham. Bellingham to the captain, Kane. And Bellingham again! Jude Bellingham, once he starts, he can't stop. And that doubles England's lead. High fives and hugs all round for the three Lions. Mexico fans are simply stunned. The England fans braving the weather and the elements. They're having a good. It's great that they're having a good time, and the pubs and the bars across the country are doing a roaring trade, I am sure. Kane passed down towards Jude Bellingham, and he finishes it off superbly. What more can I say? Apart from the fact that he almost got in, that Lear almost got in the way, but that didn't matter. And Thomas Tuchel running around like some hyperactive kid on the touchline, and so now with almost 6 minutes to go, it's Mexico 0, England 2. Vasquez to Gallardo. Now back on the ball is Vasquez. Vasquez to Eric Lira. Lira to Montez. Montez to Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez passing to Moro. Romo, I should say. Back now with Vasquez. Vasquez passes to Quinones, but player's been stopped, and a handball from Bukayo Saka, and that results in a free kick to Mexico. And it's either going to be Eric Lira or Johan Vasquez to take the free kick, and in fact it's going to be Roberto Alvarado. So Alvarado times his moment in towards the 18-yard box, headed by Kane, and retake, and the ball has been given to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham on the ball, passes to Elliot Anderson, passes to Anderson via Kane, I should say. And in fact, it was Gordon. I do apologise. So we now have 4.5 minutes to go of normal time. Mexico just need to dig deep and not give up. England have had 5 total shots. England have had 5 total shots, and 3 total shots on goal. Mexico have only had the 1 shot on goal, and they need to have more. It's Gallardo, but cleared off the line by Mark Gay, and Gallardo has been fouled. Gallardo fouled by Bukayo Saka. I'd have to say that was just a normal incident. Although I look forward to my producer Paul's interpretation of the first half once we come to the break. Free kick to Mexico. They've got 3.5 minutes to close the gap back to England. And so raising his arm is Roberto Alvarado. It's Alvarado! And sent in by Quinones! Mexico have reduced the deficit. This game is far from over. And Julian Quinones with the score. Now it's the turn of the Mexico fans to get up and dance. I sure hope somewhere in the stands there are people wearing sombreros and and their fancy clothing, blowing their horns and playing their guitars. And this is why, into the centre, into the top dead centre of the net. And for Quiñones, that is just what Mexico need. So to clear the ball out of the goal is Raul Rangel. So Rangel is the ball up the field and up to Quiñones. Consa does well to deflect. The ball away. And for Quiñones, that is his 4th goal in 5 appearances, in his 5th appearance in the World Cup. And I'd have to say that goal was very spectacular. Probably one of the most spectacular goals after a free kick that I've seen. Throw in to England. The ball being thrown to Kane, but retaken by Mexico. Briefly to take the ball is Sanchez. He fouls O'Reilly, but O'Reilly, I think, retaliated. O'Reilly had the ball, but Sanchez appeared to look like he was about to half jump on him. And with just 1 minute to go until normal time, it's now Mexico 1, England 2. So Jordan Pickford stands well back, and it's a forward cross to Harry Kane, but briefly held by Mexico. Now back with England and Jude Bellingham. Bellingham to Bukayo Saka. By the looks of it, it's now with Mark Gay. Gay to Consa. Consa tries to find Saka up the wing, but concedes to Mexico. Quiñones to Vasquez. Now it's Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado towards Quiñones, but defended by England and Jarrell Quansah. 10 seconds of normal time remaining. And because of the foul and the incident involving Luis Romo, we're going to go slightly over time. Indeed, we are. 5 minutes have been added on, and this could be the chance for Mexico to equalise and indeed take the lead off England. Alvarado on the ball, held firm by Anderson. The ball goes over the line. And it will be Jorge Sanchez that will take the throw. Sanchez throws, but sent away by England. Given back to Montes. Lira towards Quiñones. Now Raul Jimenez, but sent wide. And that is the first real shot on goal for Raul Jimenez, the man released by Fulham at the end of the season. He'll be looking for another club, and I'm sure there'll be plenty crowding for his signature during the summer transfer window. The ball now being sent forward towards Kane. Kane to Bukayo Saka. Saka does well to keep the ball inside the line, or in fact he doesn't. The ball just went out of play. And now just having a look again on my monitor of that Julian Quiñones goal. There was just absolutely nothing neither Mark Gay nor Ezri Konsa could do to prevent that. And Mexico, I'm looking at the match momentum graph, and they are definitely on top with this one. And pushed down and pushed onto the ground. That was Jarrell Quansah. And England fans are hoping that he doesn't pick up. He's not picking up his ankle problem again. In fact, it's Bukayo Saka. Saka has been struggling with injuries as of late, but he did prove to be fit, clutching his ankle. And he was shoved in the back by Gallardo. Gallardo should surely be booked, but he gets away with it. Sanchez back towards Gallardo. Gallardo in towards the 18-yard box and punched over the line and punched over the bar, I should say, by Pickford. And this is looking like one of the tightest games that I've ever commentated on for the commentary hub. So 3 minutes into stoppage time, and it's still Mexico 1, England 2. But Mexico could equalise with this corner. So to take the corner for Mexico is Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo and towards Raul Jimenez. Jimenez and clips over the air by Cesar Montes. An England player might have gotten his way. So the ball went down towards Jimenez. Montes, would he have been offside? I don't know. But nice defensive work by Jude Bellingham. And a throw in and it's given Mexico another corner. It will be Gilberto Mora to take the corner this time. We now have almost 2 minutes left of added on time, and it's Mora with the corner, cleared away from the goal area by Consa. Throw in to Mexico, and that will be taken by Eric Lira. And it will be Lira to take the throw. No, in fact, it will be Gallardo. Gallardo, he throws to Vasquez. Vasquez to Cesar Montes. Montes, Johan Vasquez. In fact, it's Alvarado, I should say. Alvarado to Gilberto Mora. Mora up the wing to Vasquez. Vasquez, Gallardo. Gallardo, Romo. Quiñones. Quiñones almost tackled by Consa. He passes to Romo. Romo towards Vasquez and Eric Lira. Lira down the wing to Cesar Montes. Montes back to Lira. Lira on the edge of the centre circle. So it's Quiñones. Quiñones towards Jorge Sanchez, but dealt with by Gordon. And Gordon pushed down onto the ground by Jorge Sanchez. And it looks as though we could well be going into half time with the same score. And in fact, the final whistle has gone, and in fact, the whistle for half time has blown, I should say. And we pause for half time, and after an amazing and quite brilliant first half, I should say, at the Azteca Stadium, Mexico 1. England 2. So now just go through the stats once more. Expected goals: 0.69 for England, 0.47 for Mexico. England have had 37% ball possession, Mexico 63. Total shots: 7 for Mexico, 3 for England, and 3 shots on goal for each, and 1 yellow card for Mexico. Two corners for both of them. And something I've got to mention at the top of the programme is that the pubs and bars throughout England are open until 5 a.m. to accommodate the match. And this is a major boost to the hospitality industry, which has been struggling in recent years. So I'm sure that game and a bit of publicity will be what the industry needs to give itself a major boost. We're going to go for a break, but we'll be back before the start of the second half, and hope we're not delayed again. See you soon. welcome back to the commentary hub coverage of Mexico against England in the round of 16, and this has been a very tight. It's been a very tight and entertaining match. And Paul says, and my producer Paul says, solid performance by England. We've had a comment from Russ Vernon, who's watching back at home. He says, apart from a shaky end to the first half, we've done well so far. Pickford and Bellingham have been brilliant for the Three Lions as they lead in the Azteca Stadium against Mexico. The next goal will be crucial, he says. Well, it just might be. And only realised just now before before he went back on air that the 2-1 score is the same. It's the same score that England lost by when they faced Argentina in the 1986 World Cup quarter-final. But this time, the score is very much in their favour. And before we get underway with the second half, just got time to mention our next game coming up on the TC Hub, and this is at 8 o'clock in the evening. And it's at 8 o'clock in the evening at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Well, 8 o'clock our time. And it's Portugal against Spain. Join Mike Harneman and Dan Money for that one. So we wait. So last minute. So players and indeed some of the substitutes. Doing the warm up. Everyone taking stock and going over the analysis of the first half. My own analysis is, I'm sure you've heard it before, is that it's been very tight. And entertaining, and also very spectacular. Those goals by Jude Bellingham have certainly proved testament to that, and also the opening, and also Mexico's first by Julian Quiñones. So Mexico came into this game. Remember, having not conceded any goals. But they have conceded one, and the fans better hope that this doesn't start a breakdown for them. So we are now just 45. We will soon be 45 minutes. So we will soon be 45 minutes away. And apart from Russ, who's already done so, if you have any opinions on how the first half has gone and what you think the score for the second half will be, then do please let me know. As I can just see from the corner of my eye, on one of the other monitors, that the Mexico players are inside the tunnel and should be getting ready to come out in a couple of minutes' time. It's just gone 3:05 in the morning in the UK, and if you're tuning in, and for those that are tuning in, well done. You deserve You deserve an award. And if you're still in the mood, have an extra. And if you're still in the mood, have an extra beer or something for ourselves. Have an extra beer or something for us as we go through, as we prepare for the second half. Which will be in around a couple of minutes' time. Remember, Brazil lost 2-1 against Norway earlier in the evening, and Norway will be the opponents of whoever wins this game. Paul did say that Norway could be very hard to break down, especially with the likes of Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard. But we shall see. If England go through, to me, they will have proved they can play and win in all conditions. Don't forget this stadium. Don't forget the Azteca Stadium is some 7,350 feet above sea level. That's even higher than the highest league ground in England, which is West Bromwich Albion's the Hawthorns. So the players now getting into accessory tactics, and if I remember reading somewhere that the altitude is even higher than Mount Everest. If anyone can confirm on that, then please let me know. So now the England players are getting ready to come out of the tunnel. Just a quick word with the referee. Harry Kane comes out leading the team out of the tunnel. Thomas Tuchel and his assistant manager Anthony Barry walking out ahead of him. And so the players now getting ready to come out onto the pitch. Jordan Henderson comes out and he about to make his way into goal. And because of the second half, the roles will be reversed. England will be playing from left to right, and Mexico will go from right to left. And an early substitute for Mexico before we start, as Cesar Montes makes way for Edson Alvarez. Edson Alvarez comes on for Mexico as Alvarez makes his way into the pitch. It'll be Mexico to kick us off. Alvarez is at Fenerbahce, and we are underway for the second half between Mexico and England. It's Mexico with the early possession, and it's Montes to Eric Lira. So it's Lira down the wing towards Gallardo, but retaken by Jarrell Quansah. Quansah passes to Pickford. It's Jordan Pickford. Holds onto the ball. And he passes the ball out to Ezri Konsa. So 4-1-2-3 formation for Mexico. As now on the ball is Jarrell Quansah trying to keep England's defence held, but the ball goes over the line. Ball being passed to Jordan Pickford. Pickford sends the ball forward to Jude Bellingham. Now the ball being passed back to Sanchez. Sanchez passes to Rangel. Rangel to Alvarez. It's Alvarez to Eric Lira. But a foul on an England player. I might have missed that, and it was on Kane. Foot on his ankle, but Kane is all right. He's as tough as old boots is Harry Kane. And it's Lira passing to Gallardo, and now on the ball is Jorge Sanchez. But Sanchez sends the ball over the line. 2 minutes into the second half, it's as you were. Mexico 1, England 2. Sanchez. The ball now being passed from Alvarez to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez to Quiñones. Quiñones gives the ball away to Kane, and Kane does well to keep hold of the ball. Passes to Jarrell Quansah. Quansah to Ezri Konsa. Konsa towards Declan Rice. England seeming to lose control there. And so it's Quiñones, but defended by Mark Gay. And now on the ball is Anthony Gordon. He does well to keep it inside. Now passing down the wing to Harry Kane. Harry Kane to Jarrell Quansah. And it's Quansah to Mark Gay. Mark Gay passes to Elliot Anderson. Anderson to Anthony Gordon. And it's Anthony Gordon to Ezri Konsa, but now being picked up by Bukayo Saka. Saka collides with, or clashes with Julian Quinones, and I'd have to say that was a missed opportunity for England to pull further ahead. Quansah to take the throw. He throws. Was aiming for Kane. Now it's with Nico O'Reilly. O'Reilly off the post. Very close from the 21-year-old Quansah in towards Anthony Gordon, but headed clear by a Mexico defender. You have to feel for Nico O'Reilly right now, but he has recovered, and he will be the one to take the throw. He throws to Declan Rice. Rice to Ezri Konsa, and it's Konsa to Bukayo Saka on the near side. Bukayo Saka passing to Jarrell Quansah. It's Quansah to Ezri Konsa. Mark Gay. And it's Mark Gay passing to Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon on the far side. He's making his way into England's attacking third. He's having to hold off Gallardo. Retaken though by Mexico through Eric Lira. Lira with the forward cross, trying to send it away, but it ends up at the feet of Jordan Pickford. Pickford to Gordon. Rice up the wing to Mark Gay. Now back with Elias Anderson. Ezri Konsa. Konsa fouled from behind by Raul Jimenez. The referee says play on. And now the ball's been sent back by England to Jordan Pickford. Just over 5 minutes in, it's still Mexico 1, England 2. And now the ball being headed by Anthony Gordon towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham almost caught by Lira. Bellingham still manages to hold on to the ball though. And the fact that he was able to hold on is just impressive, but he's down inside the box. Is this going to be a penalty? No, says the referee. He wasn't that far enough in. And now on the ball for Mexico is Romo. Romo to Eric Lira. Lira passing to Johan Vasquez. It's Vasquez towards Romo. Romo down the wing to Jesus Gallardo. Fouled from behind by Jarrell Quansah. But play still goes on. Anderson crossing up the wing to Anthony Gordon. It's Anthony Gordon on the ball. He's almost inside. He's almost inside England's attacking third, but the referee has brought play to a stop. And difficult to ascertain why at the moment. It could be because of the foul. It could be because of the foul on Anthony Gordon. In fact, we could have a substitute being prepared. In fact, we're not, as the referee is talking to one of the Mexican players. That looks to me. It looks to me as like Edson Alvarez. Alvarez with the foul on Quansah. No, in fact, it was Gallardo. I beg your pardon. Jesus Gallardo fouling Jesus Gallardo. In fact, it was Quansah on Gallardo. Got players both mixed up, and we are going to VAR for a possible red card for England. Was a bit slow on the uptake, but I do get there. And Jarrell Quansah. Oh yes, definitely a serious challenge. I think he was maybe he was trying to keep hold of the ball or not, but we'll have to see. I think if he did foul, it was unnecessary, and the referee has made a decision. We wait to see what it will be. Is Quansah going to get a red card? And the referee seemingly reaches into his pocket, and it's a red card! A red card for Jarrell Quansah. He is sent off and he will miss the quarter-final match should England go through. And looking at this again, oh yes, that looked very serious, and I have to say that Jarrell Quansah's sending off was the correct decision. But what do you think? I'd like to know your opinions in the comments, as Thomas Tuchel and Anthony Barry have a quick discussion. Jarrell Quansah, he looks very annoyed with himself, and as the Mexico supporters can now sense that this could be the chance for them to take the lead with that this could be the chance for them to get back into it with England being a player down. And it's a free kick. That's a free kick to Mexico, and the man to take the free kick will be Gallardo. Gallardo towards. It was Alvarado towards Gallardo, and Kane has gone down in the process. The England players now arguing their case in front of the referee. We'll just try and ascertain what happens. It was Gordon that went down first, and then Gallardo fouled Harry Kane. Slight contact initially, but it got worse. And Jude Bellingham arguing England's points. Harry Kane not really saying much about the situation. He looks as though he's just shrugging the whole thing off. And this is what happened between Alvarez and Bellingham, and this was the missed opportunity from O'Reilly just off the post. But England cannot afford to lose any more players, and if anything, they've got to work even harder to ensure that they go through to the quarterfinals. As fouled was Jude Bellingham on the touchline. Throw-in taken by Raul Jimenez. Jimenez to Edson Alvarez. Alvarez passing to Gallardo. Gallardo. Alvarez down the wing to Vasquez. Vasquez passing to Gallardo. Gallardo towards Quiñones, but over the line it goes, and it will be either a corner or a throw-in. And John Stones is going to come on. He will take the place of Bukayo Saka, and Bukayo Saka never really got to see much of him, unfortunately. And John Stones coming in, his experience once again will prove invaluable as Bukayo Saka makes his way onto the subs bench. He will be, I'm sure, disappointed with his performance. Harry Kane, or should I say Anderson, Gordon fouled inside the 18-yard box. Is the referee going toward a penalty? I don't know if he is. I didn't see him point to the spot. He just used one hand, and it looks as though it might well be Pickford with the Pickford clears the ball out of the goal, and Gordon mistook it, and Rangel fouled him inside the box, and I am very sure that it is a penalty, and I feel sure that it is a penalty, but everyone's still arguing the case, and Mexico giving their side of the story. The referee's telling them to go away. and the England players having a chat with the Mexico, having a chat with some of the Mexico players. What an extraordinary turn of developments we could be seeing here, as the referee still arguing the case, and it is indeed a penalty. England have a penalty, and it's penalty confirmed for England, and it will be the captain Kane that will take the penalty. And if anyone can tell me how to spot the difference between pointing to the spot with one finger and using only one hand, then do please advise me on this one. And now Harry Kane with the penalty. He has to send this one to ensure that England are 2 goals ahead again. Remember, the goalkeeper cannot encroach the line where the net is. He only has to have 1 foot on the line. So Kane lines up and strikes, and then it goes. The penalty pays off, and England are 3-1 up. Harry Kane, not only is he the captain, he is also England's penalty specialist. And this could really put a dent in Mexico's hopes. England being tactical at the start of the first half has started to pay off. And Harry Kane, right footer, Rangel went the right way, but the ball just went over his head. And with a little under 30 minutes to go, it's now Mexico 1, England 3. And is there going to be, and 2 substitutes are being made for Mexico, Mora and Romo, and coming on will be Santiago Jimenez and Brian Gutierrez. So we get ready for a kickoff to restart. And I should remind you that Romo and Mora have come off, and they will be replaced by Gutierrez and Jimenez. So now on the ball for England is Mark Gay. Mark Gay to Harry Kane. Harry Kane fouls and rubbing his arm a bit. But he looks okay. And the Mexico dignitaries behind Gianni Infantino looking very forlorn at the moment. Free kick to England, and that will be taken by Anthony Gordon. He passes to Mark Gay. Gay to Brian Gutierrez. Gutierrez to Quiñones. Jesus Gallardo, but forced away. Throw in by Mexico to Brian Gutierrez. The ball in towards the 18-yard box, sent away by Pickford, and now back on the ball is Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado towards Brian Gutierrez, defended by O'Reilly, and caught again by Jordan Pickford. This again was an easy save, perhaps in Jordan Pickford's eyes, and an early punt, and this was an earlier save by Pickford when he punched the ball away. So now back on the ball is Anderson. Anderson to Kane. Kane, Rice to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham crossing the ball forward, or should that be a forward pass to Anthony Gordon? Anthony Gordon almost distracted by Alvarez, but tackled from behind by Johan Vasquez. Alvarez down the wing to Gallardo. Gallardo passing to Quiñones on the near side. Quiñones tries to go around Consa, but the ball is forced over the line, and the last person to have it was Santiago Jimenez. Ball now back in play. It's Brian Gutierrez to Quiñones. Alvarado, but cleared away by John Stones. So a little over 64 minutes in. It's still Mexico 1, England 3. Although Mexico have a corner. And the man to take the corner is going to be Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado into the 18-yard box towards Gutierrez. He passes back to Alvarado. Now it's Quiñones. Quiñones under pressure from Kane. Mexico still have the ball towards Edson Alvarez. Vasquez. Kane tries to take it back for England. Mexico retake. It's Quiñones. Julian Quiñones, who passes to Lira, and now play has been stopped because Quiñones is down on the ground. Difficult to see who fouled him. We'll know in a moment, and in fact it was Jude Bellingham. Bellingham was the one who fouled him, and we now have a free kick to Mexico. Although we are looking at VAR for a possible penalty. It's just going to be a free kick. And so with the check over, Fagani talking to both captains, and I stand corrected. It is going to be a VAR check for a possible penalty. So Mexico could have so this could be a golden opportunity for Mexico to bring themselves back into the game. And this was Kane. On Gallardo. No, in fact, it was Brian Gutierrez. Touch of feet. Kane did actually touch the ball. In fact, no, he didn't. It was Gutierrez that touched the ball first. Kane's foot was nowhere near the ball. So I would not be surprised if Mexico gets a penalty, although that's not for me to decide. And the referee comes on, and the referee comes onto the pitch. He's about to make his decision, and after review, it's penalty Mexico. And the fans are overjoyed. And to take the penalty will be their star man, Raul Jimenez. And clear to just looking at it again, that was a penalty, clear as day. Kane's foot nowhere near the ball. And a yellow card given to one of the England players, likely for dissent. We'll find out who it is. It might be Kane, and it is. So Harry Kane, yellow card for Harry Kane. Normally he reacts well under pressure, but but he got into trouble for shooting his mouth off. And as for Raul Jimenez, he has scored the last 5 penalties for club and he has scored his last 5 penalties for club and country. Will Jordan Pickford be able to save this one? Jimenez stutters a bit. He runs up and Pickford doesn't save. Raul Jimenez makes it 2 for Mexico. The home side, you could call them, or one of the co-hosts are back in it, and they only have some 21 minutes to get. They have only some 21 minutes to take this game into extra time. Jimenez timed his attack well, even though people are saying different things about stuttering, he took this one well. So England have to hold on, or at least get another ball. Kane inside the 18-yard box. He passes to Gordon. Gordon tries to keep hold, but it is deflected away by Alvarado. And now back on the ball is Bellingham. Bellingham to Kane. Kane fouled again, and another England player is down. I can't see who it is. It might be Jude Bellingham. The referee Fagani is calling a halt to proceedings, and it's Nico O'Reilly who went down. O'Reilly, who almost scored earlier, that was a tight one. They both went down at the same time. But that goal by Raul Jimenez, excellent penalty, and excellent penalty. So the England supporters looking very tense now, and the referee has lost his patience with the arguing Mexican players, and in fact he's given one of them a yellow card. It's Jorge Sanchez, and the referee he's like one of those teachers or headmasters who will stand for no nonsense. And credit to him for officiating correctly. We still haven't had a second half hydration break. We'll let you know if and when there is one, and the referee checking his watch, and we're going for the second half hydration break. So now's the time. So now will be the time for everyone to catch their breath and have a breather, take a drink, and think about what's coming ahead. So don't forget, if you are new to us, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share among with your friends and your family. But also you can follow us on X or Twitter at Commentary Live 1. And you can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. We're also on Instagram and TikTok, both with the handle at Commentary Hub 92. And coming up next for us on the TC Hub at 8 o'clock UK time, it is Portugal against Spain at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas with Mike Harneman and Dan Money. Cristiano Ronaldo beats one of the all-time legends in Luka Modric in their match against Croatia. But will he last a bit longer, or will the European champion Spain send him home? From what I've heard, he has announced his retirement from international football. One of the Mexican players getting their boots strapped up. If anyone can confirm, that's it. if anyone can confirm that Ronaldo will retire from international football after the World Cup, then do please comment. As Thomas Tuchel last minute advice to Declan Rice, and a bit of an argument going on, a bit of argy-bargy between Sanchez and O'Reilly, and we've got a substitute coming on, Jed Spence by the looks of it, and Dan Burns looking like he's going to come on as well. We'll have to wait and see, and it's O'Reilly and O'Reilly's got a yellow card, presumably for elbowing Jorge Sanchez in the face. And we will get ready for an England substitute. That looks to me like it's Dan Burn. And it looks to me as though it'll be Dan Burn that's coming on, and he will take the place of Elliot Anderson, and Nico O'Reilly will make way for Jed Spence. So Anderson coming off, and Spence coming on, and Thomas Tuchel presumably doesn't want to risk Nico O'Reilly being given another booking, otherwise he will miss the quarter-final match. We're back underway after the hydration break, and it's still Mexico 2, England 3. Johan Vasquez passes to Brian Gutierrez. So it's Gutierrez to Eric Lira, still with the ball for Mexico. Now Jesus Gallardo to Raul Jimenez, and it's Raul Jimenez in towards the penalty area, but cleared away by Jed Spence. Jed Spence wearing a jaw brace, and now on the ball is Eric Lira. Passing down the wing to Jesus Gallardo. In fact, that was a cross down the wing, I should say. And in towards the 18-yard box, headed into the air by Byrne. Cleared out of danger by Ezri Konsa. Now on the ball is Edson Alvarez. Or should that be Lira? Lira to Gallardo. And it's Gallardo into the 18-yard box. Kane passing the ball around, but the ball is sent again out of England's goal. And now on the ball is Alvarez. It's Edson Alvarez. Alvarez passing to Johan Vasquez. Vasquez towards Gallardo. And it's Gallardo into the 18-yard box, almost caught by Santiago Jimenez. Santiago Jimenez passing to Rangel. And now back on the ball is Eric Lira. It's Lira to Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado to Vasquez. Now headed by Konsa. But retaken by Mexico and Gallardo. Gallardo to Quiñones. Back to Alvarez to Brian Gutierrez. But it misses the post. And Gutierrez with another try, headed by Kane, out of the England goal area, and it's back with Edson Alvarez. It's almost been like a complete circuit from one side of the half to the other. But back now with Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo on the ball and headed by Spence over the line. It will be a corner to Mexico. And I'm going to have to start thinking about who my player of the match will be as Mexico get ready to make another substitution as Jorge Sanchez comes off, and taking his place will be Alvaro Fidalgo. So Mexico down to 1 substitution, and Mexico now have a corner. So corner by Gallardo. Everyone misses it. Not even Pickford could get a glove to it. But relief for England. And Pickford very close to using his right fist, but it's given another corner to Mexico. Corner swiftly taken by Gutierrez, but sent away by Declan Rice, and Alvarado didn't have time to react. Alvarado with the third corner. Will it be third time lucky for Mexico? The referee waiting for the right time. He blows the whistle, and it will be Alvarado to take the corner. He sends it in, but it's over the line. And I'm now letting Paul know who my player of the match is. And I will be sure to read it out within the next 7 or 8 minutes. Throw in to England, and it will be Jed Spence to take the throw. As being led around is Guillermo Martinez. Martinez might have come on. We'll let you know who it is. He's come on, and we'll just have to wait and see. So on the ball now is Fidalgo to Alvarado. Alvarado passing to Declan Rice, now sent away though by Ezri Konsa, and now Guillermo Martinez. He will come on in place of the goal scorer for Mexico, Quiñones, and Mexico now have no substitutions left. England, I believe, have 1 left. So now on the ball is Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo to Fidalgo. Fidalgo, and it was almost sent in by Santiago Jimenez. But it just sailed over the bar and almost hit the post. So with around 8.5 minutes to go, it's still Mexico 2, England 3. Raul Rangel sends the ball out of the goal towards Gallardo. Gallardo to Vasquez. Vasquez to Fidalgo. Now on the ball is Lira, and it's Lira. But the ball now being crossed down and caught by Mark Gay. And now I'm going to take this temporary pause to say who my player of the match is, and it is Jude Bellingham of England. I'll explain why in a moment or two. And Jude Bellingham, yes, 2 goals, 2 shots, and an XG of 0.65. And the reason why I chose Jude Bellingham is because of his 2 goals within 3 minutes. So well done to him. As Gallardo back on the ball for Mexico. He passes to Santiago Jimenez. But England's defence keeping the ball out, and Edson Alvarez for Mexico. He passes to Lira to Alvaro Fidalgo to Gallardo, but sent away by Ezri Konsa. And England England's defence proving very tough to break down at the moment. But that could well change. And this is what happened. Jimenez dodged around Spence. Was there a foul which I did not see? I couldn't tell. So it will be a goal kick to Jordan Pickford. One or two Mexico supporters can't bear to watch. It's Harry Kane. Harry Kane towards Jude Bellingham, but kept out by Mexico. Now on the ball is Raul Jimenez, but he fouls Ezri Konsa, and Mexico Jimenez should be given a yellow card for that one. I would have to say that Mexico have only got off lightly, only one yellow card so far, I believe. But England now have a free kick, and it will be Declan Rice, that will take the free kick. So Rice into the goal area, but headed clear by Mexico, down towards Brian Gutierrez. Gutierrez retaken by Gordon. Now with Jude Bellingham. He does a back pass to Jed Spence. Jed Spence tries to find Harry Kane, but the ball ends up in the hands of Rangel. Rangel to Gallardo. Gallardo on the ball, and he passes to Edson Alvarez. 5 minutes to go. Still Mexico 2, England 3. It's Roberto Alvarado, but defended by England, and Declan Rice. Rice back passes to Mark Gay, but the ball sails on. But the ball bounces forward, I should say, towards Raul Rangel. And now back on the ball is Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo to Gallardo. Gallardo back towards Fidalgo. Fidalgo, but sent clear by Jordan Pickford. Although Ezri Konsa might have had a hand in this. Fidalgo crossing up the width. Fidalgo, short cross to Alvarado. Alvarado, and the ball being sent down towards Raul Jimenez, but retaken by England, and Mark Gay. Referee wants play to stop. Difficult to see why at the moment, and this could be the reason. Mark Gay appeared to have pulled down Guillermo Martinez, and but nothing comes of it from what I'm seeing. It's only going to be a free kick to England, and that will be taken by Jordan Pickford. And I have to correct myself. It was Mark Gay that went down, and one young fan can't look. The ball now being sent down towards Ezri Konsa. Konsa, Rice bounces towards Raul Rangel. So it's Rangel to Edson Alvarez. Alvarez down the wing to Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo kept out by Stones. Stones, Bellingham down the wing to Bellingham, gives the ball away to Alvarez. Alvarez passing to Alvarado. Anthony Gordon watching his every move. Now after him is Jed Spence. Spence tries to get the ball off his Mexican counterpart. When I say that, I mean they have the same number as it's Eric Lira, but diving header to send the ball away by Kane. Although this could cost England. England have the ball back. Now it's with Raul Jimenez for Mexico. Play on, says the referee. down the wing towards Jesus Gallardo. Gallardo sent up into the air by Gay. Gay towards Gordon. And over the line for a Mexico throw. And the ball now being thrown to Eric Lira. Lira to Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado, Fidalgo. Fidalgo saved by Pickford. And Jordan Pickford on a game where he equals Peter Shilton's record. Despite letting in those 2 Mexico goals, he has been brilliant. And I'm sure Peter Shilton will be very proud of him. So now on the ball is Ezri Konsa, I should say. And we now have 1 minute of normal time remaining. Goodness knows how many minutes of injury time we will have in the second half. And England get ready to make another substitution. It will be Harry Kane that will come off, and taking his place will be Morgan Rogers. And Harry Kane strips off his captain's armband, and on comes Morgan Rogers. So England to restart proceedings with a free kick. And taking the captain's armband for England is Declan Rice. He is the vice captain. So it's John Stones crossing towards Bellingham. Bellingham concedes to Roberto Alvarado, but retaken by Bellingham. So the ball now being passed around to Fidalgo, and 11 minutes have been added on. This could be a blessing for Mexico. England supporters will have their fingernails chewed down to the very end. As Jordan Pickford once again saves. And he almost hits his teammate Stones. The ball goes out of play, and to take the throw will be Fidalgo. Fidalgo throws to Vasquez. Mexico have had 15 attempts on goal, 5 on target. England 5 on goal, 4 on target. Ball now being passed to Gallardo. Gallardo to Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo towards Lira. Lira back to Gallardo. Gallardo to Fidalgo. Fidalgo. Gallardo again. Back towards Fidalgo. Now Gallardo, but over the line. And the Mexico supporters now start to show their voice. Oh dear, this young man. He's almost in tears, watching with his dad. As to take the corner is Brian Gutierrez. Gutierrez punched away by Pickford, but given away to Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo to Gutierrez. Brian Gutierrez tries to cross in, but Pickford tries to get to it, but it went the far side of the post. But it went past the far post, I should say. Pickford didn't have to get anywhere near it. And the England players, despite the heat and the altitude above sea level, goodness knows how they're still able to carry on fending off Mexico. But will it last for long? So Vasquez passing to Edson Alvarez. Alvarez up the wing to Alvarado. It's Alvarado looking for Gutierrez, but retaken by England. This time it's Anthony Gordon. Gordon to Bellingham. Jude Bellingham, but tries to go for a long shot, but That's an easy save by Raul Rangel. So on the ball now is Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo up the wing to Alvarado. Alvarado passing to Fidalgo. Fidalgo to Vasquez. Vasquez. Gallardo. Gallardo trying to go around Consa. But the ball is over. But the ball is over the line. And after 93 and after just over 93 and a half minutes, it's still Mexico 2, England 3. Jordan Pickford to clear the ball. Jordan Pickford to clear the ball out of goal, and he sends it forward. Ball headed by Jude Bellingham. And Thomas Tuchel angrily shouting from the touchline, trying to get his points across, but nothing doing. And it's Edson Alvarez for Mexico. He passes to Fidalgo. Fidalgo tries to keep hold of the ball. It's back with Fidalgo. That was, I believe, by Martinez. And another attempt at goal by Mexico, but it's off the net, but it whistles past the near post. And we're almost coming up to or about just as close to the halfway point in this injury time period. Harry Kane, he can be proud of his team's performance. As Rangel sends the ball out of the goal, passes to Lira to Gallardo, or is it Alvarado? Alvarado to Gallardo. Gallardo passes to Fidalgo. Almost a bicycle kick by Santiago Jimenez. Ball sent out of goal by Rangel, and it's Rangel down the wing to Fidalgo, passing to Edson Alvarez, but sent off the back by Rice. Nice little deflection by the England vice captain. It's back with Alvarez inside the centre circle. He passes the ball out of the centre circle to Alvaro Fidalgo. Fidalgo passing to Alvarez to Eric Lira. Lira passes to Gutierrez. It's Gutierrez, or should that be Alvarado? Alvarado being hounded by Gordon. Now it's back with Fidalgo to Roberto Alvarado. Alvarado crosses down to Gallardo. Raul Jimenez over the crossbar. And is this a sign that Mexico are starting to tire? It might well be. We have some 4 minutes left. We now have some 4 minutes on the clock left. As Pickford clears the ball out of the goal towards Morgan Rogers, but bounces off the foot, Alvarado, and it will be another throw-in to England to be taken by Ezri Konsa. Konsa throws. And the ball caught by Jude Bellingham. Bellingham on the ball, but forced away by Vasquez. And it looks as though it will be a throw-in to England. And just a quick comment. Mike Hardiman says, "What a game this has been! Fantastic commentary, Nick, mate. Cheers, Mike." As a yellow card, I should say, is being issued, We'll see who has the yellow card in a moment. Jude Bellingham towards Ezri Konsa. Now it's with Konsa towards Gordon Kane. Or should that be Byrne? As Jordan Pickford clears the ball out of goal, and it is Johan Vasquez who is booked. Thanks, Paul, for letting me know on that one. And so Vasquez, it's Vasquez with the yellow card. So now on the ball is Alvarado, but forced away by Jed Spence. Well, a little under 90 seconds to go now. It's still Mexico 2, England 3. But a Mexico player is down. He looks in a bad way. And we could go overtime. He might have broken his leg. He's moving. He isn't moving very far. That looks nasty. That does look serious, but he's off the line. Corner to Mexico. Saved by Pickford. And Jordan Henderson. It's Jordan Henderson who has been booked. What that was for, I do not know. Likely for dissent on the touchline. Likely for dissent from the touchline. And yes, indeed, he is been given a yellow card. I think he must have said something abusive to the referee. Now back on the ball is Alvarado as the physios now take a look at the poor Mexican player just as well. They're doing really well to have him out of the way. The ball not being crossed down to Gallardo to Eric Lira passing to Jimenez. The ball sent out of the goal area by Morgan Rogers. Off the ball is Jude Bellingham. Bellingham fouled by Lira. He passes to Gutierrez to Fidalgo. Passing to Fidalgo to Alvarado. 10 seconds of injury time left. It's still with Mexico, this time with Gutierrez to Alvarado. Could this be the chance for Mexico to equalise? It just misses the side of the net. That was so close. And it was sent away by John Stones, but it's given Mexico a corner. This could be the chance for a last-minute twist. Alvarado with the corner, sent away by Dan Byrne. Low shot, defended by England, and the ball goes over the line. And the referee we wait for whether it is going to be full time or not. I reckon there's just going to be a couple of shots and that'll be it. But no, yet another corner. So this isn't yet over. Pickford with the punch, and the ball goes out of the play. The referee's seen enough. And it's full time at the Estadio Azteca. England have banished the ghosts of 1986. And they go through to the quarter-finals where they will face Norway. I'll tell you something. That was a game and a half for me to commentate on. In fact, it was probably the best I've done on the TC Hub. Those two goals by Jude Bellingham were magic, but the two penalties by Kane and Jimenez were good, but they don't compare to Bellingham's goals scored within 2 minutes. And England Canada have gone out. Canada went out on Saturday. Now Mexico are out. And the USA are the only one of the co-host nations left. And it remains. And don't forget, I will be commentating on their game against Belgium in less than 24 hours' time, and that will be at the Los Angeles Stadium in Inglewood. Mexico take nothing away from them. They played their hearts out. They did really well, but England were just the stronger side. It could have, I think it may well have started when Jude Bellingham broke down their defence with those 2 goals. I thought England would hold on, but Mexico did well to pull back. But at the end, for them, it just wasn't enough, and the fiesta for them is over. Final score at the Estadio Azteca: Mexico 2, England 3. And before we go, just a couple more things to say. Big up to the hospitality industry, as they have been doing a roaring trade in the bars and the pubs, as they have stayed up well past their allotted closing time. Big respect to the hospitality industry in this country, in England, I should say, and I hope it keeps going for a long time to come. And coming up next on the TC Hub, it is Portugal against Spain. Join Dan Money and Mike Harneman for that one. Can Cristiano Ronaldo keep going in what could well be his final World Cup or will Spain beat their Iberian neighbours? That's all from us on the Commentary Hub. I've been Nicholas Jones. Have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and for those who haven't or are struggling to, be sure to get some sleep, won't you? Goodbye.